Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. Today I'm doing a lot of cleanup. I want to just get everything out of the garden space that is basically done for the year. And guys, if I have to bring in one more cucumber in the house, I'm going to lose my mind. So like this trellis, I'm going to clean up all the cucumber vines off of it. I'm done with cucumbers for the year. I can't get anyone to come and get them from me, all the extras that I have. And my potatoes are next to it, so getting this trellis out of the way will make it easier when the potatoes are done to harvest my potatoes. Lots of stuff going on. I'm going to take you guys with me to get the harvest in that's out here. And then we'll do some minor cleanup. And then I'll give you guys an update on how the fall crops are growing. Whoops, I missed this one. My green beans are all the way on that trellis, and they have climbed over the potatoes and they're all the way over here. Whoops. Oh, it's so bright. Sorry about that. I am going to just cut all these cucumber vines at the base, and that way when Todd gets home from work, we'll be able to pull this trellis out without a problem. Okay, the next thing that I want to clean up is the cabbages that I didn't harvest. They just never really got big enough. One of them I might keep. The old broccoli that has done its thing. The bees have harvested all the flowers. There's not even flowers on it anymore. And I've got more on the other side of the Brussels sprouts. My Brussels sprouts aren't looking too good. They are getting chowed down by something. So we're gonna get these out of here. Maybe pull a few weeds while we're at it. And that'll be that. They're all out, but I am dealing with some weeds, so I'm just going to get these out. This awful grass. So guys, this is one of my Ruth Stout beds, and it's a fairly new area. Last year the Ruth Stout bed ended, I guess maybe kind of right where my rear end is. And this whole space was new. So it's only had 1 year of mulch on it. So I'm looking forward to, not far around the corner, leaves are starting to fall and the grass clippings, and we'll just add a nice new thick layer of mulch. I'm not planting anything right here for the fall, so we're just gonna let this ground rest. Throw some compost on it that I've got from the goat shelter from the winter, and then top dress it with some nice thick mulch. Okay guys, behind me here is all cucumbers the whole way down, and it's carrying into my sweet potato patch. Like I said, I'm done with cucumbers, so I'm just going to pull all these out. If there's anything worth harvesting, I'll go ahead and keep them. But I'm done with cucumbers. I want my patch clear so that as the sweet potatoes come up, I can harvest them. I just want to show you guys in all of that space, so 22-foot row by 3 feet wide or so, I pulled about 10 weeds. So again, how's that possible? Well, you have, this is a Ruth Stout area, so the super deep mulch layer is doing a great job. But also that high intensity planting of the cucumber vines is a natural weed barrier itself. So that worked out really, really well. Okay, well, let me take you around to the rest of the garden. We're going to harvest what's available. I don't know of anything else that I'm cutting back. Take that back. I'm cutting back the turnips and the kale still yet, so I can get a new batch of kale leaves, turnips. I'm just not happy with them this year, so anyway, and harvest what's left to harvest. And then that'll be our wrap up for out in the garden today. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I forgot. I was going to show you guys what's growing good for fall crops. So we'll do that too. Okay, this has to be one of my absolute favorite places in the garden. I've shared it with you guys before. It's one big surprise experiment that worked tremendously. It is quite overgrown, super crowded with goodness. But isn't this is my first teddy bear sunflower. Isn't that the cutest little thing? They're dwarf sunflowers. It's the only one I got so far that's come up, and I just love it. So cute. And I don't know if you guys can see. I'll pull some up. Just so much healthy life in this little space. It is all the barn clean out, dumped, and probably, oh, like seriously, when we dumped it, it was probably this tall. And it settled over the spring until I threw some plugs in it, extra zucchini, extra cucumbers, extra tomatoes, dropped in some sunflower seeds here and there, and it has just been one of my happiest places in the garden. I have some zucchini in here I need to harvest. I'm gonna look at the cucumber plants. There's probably about 7 or so in here, to see if any are ready to just let me take them out. And now what you're gonna notice, I think you can notice it, yeah. I am starting to deal with quite a bit of powdery mildew. I'm not sure if I'm gonna treat it or not, only because I have had an amazing zucchini harvest this year, but it is affecting my pumpkins, so I know I'm gonna treat the pumpkins at least. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I want to show you guys something. This was my first year growing artichokes. This artichoke flower is just about done, but can you see? All crowded out with this big zucchini, but I'm going to protect him and see if he'll come back next year. We have another one at the end. And you know what? I might even take out any zucchini plants that I'm not seeing flowering anymore. This one's still flowering really good, but no zucchinis to harvest on this one today. So here you can see the powdery mildew issue. This on the pumpkins is what I'm more worried about. So I'm gonna get out here with just some baking soda, dish soap spray, not dish soap, but Castile soap spray, and spray it down real good. Getting tricky to walk in here, that's for sure. Just broke off. Sometimes it's easier if I walk up the middle. I hate to walk on it, but oh, so much goodness all up in here.
What are you getting? Tomatoes?
Yep. I bet you guys couldn't tell there was tomatoes growing in there. There is. Okay, so this is what I pulled out of there. A little bunch of tomatoes and 4 nice zucchini. But we still have the other side to go and inspect. So I'm going to take you guys down that way, then we'll head down the tomato row and harvest our tomatoes. Okay, I am going to keep this one little cucumber patch. It'll be the only one because it does grow these nice salad cucumbers. So I'm going to leave this one and that'll be it. Let me show you guys my pumpkin. I'm excited. You guys see that beauty down there? Can you? I don't know if it's too bright. Look at that. Nice, pretty pumpkin. Okay, starting here and going all the way down to the fence is my tomatoes. Now some never grew much and others are easily 5 to 6 foot tall. So I'm going to go through here and harvest what I can. A lot are ready, especially down at the end. And the last thing that we have to harvest is the green beans, which are over by the potatoes. And then we'll be wrapped up. Oh, my basket's getting heavy. I have to show you guys my absolute favorite tomato this year. It's my first time ever growing it. It's called the Golden Cherry, and it makes these bright, bright orange little cherry tomatoes that are the sweetest tomato you'll ever eat. It is so good, and it's prolific. I mean, it has given us so many tomatoes, and I can't wait to make some sweet cherry tomato salsa with some jalapenos in it. It's going to be great. We're gonna wrap up this little bit of harvesting with any paste tomatoes that are ready. This is a variety called the Health Kick, and they again are another really prolific tomato. Look at this bunch, just beautiful. Okay, well, I think I officially need a different basket because this is not going to fit without me dropping a bunch on the way back up to the kitchen, and I still have to harvest the green beans. So let me go grab another basket. We'll head over to the green beans and start harvesting those. One got smashed. I just ended up going in emptying the bucket and we will head over and get all the green beans in. I've never had, oops, let me get you guys set down. I have never had sweet potatoes flower, but look at that big bee in there, getting all the pollen out of the sweet potato flowers. Can you guys see them? They're so pretty. So pretty. See if I can zoom you guys down in there. See? A little sweet potato in there. Just gonna let it cover them back up and let them keep going. Get that weed out so it's not in his way. Just picked my one and only kohlrabi I got. I don't even know if that's a good size or not. Some of them you just miss and they really get too big. So let me talk to you guys just about something real quick. So this is probably about right at a 20-foot row of green beans, no wider than 6 inches wide. High intensity planted vertically. So I put about, let's say 6 seeds in every, I don't know, a space about like as wide as my head. So 2, 4, 1 in the middle. They grow up and you can get such a huge harvest off really quite a small space. So again, I just always encourage people, say you have a small backyard, but you've got a fence up in your backyard, you can trellis up and get a huge harvest, large enough that you can put up quite a lot to preserve. I would say out of this, I could easily get about 50 quarts of green beans. So don't fear, you don't have to have a lot of space to plant big. Well guys, this is the green bean harvest for today. As you can see behind me, there's still tons and tons of flowers, so green beans will be coming on for a long time yet. But like I promised, I want to take you guys around, show you the fall crops that I'm growing and how they're doing. Whether or not I remember everything I planted, you guys can go back and watch my fall planting video and check my facts. So first, while we're here, this is a pumpkin vine. Here's a little pumpkin, another one down there, one right here, one right here. So I've got lots and lots of pumpkins on this vine. So there's pumpkins all through this garden space. I'm not going to show you all those. Showed you one earlier in the video. I planted pie pumpkins, Cinderella pumpkin, and a Connecticut field pumpkin. So pumpkins are doing great. Okay, directly behind where the green beans are growing is all my potatoes, which is one of the main reasons I want to get this cucumber trellis out. Remember, I cut off at the beginning of the video the bottom of the cucumbers. When Todd gets home, him and I are going to get this trellis out. And the the potatoes, I want to give just a little bit more space so I can easily get in here and harvest these when they're ready. Guys! Do you see them? They're beets. I might actually get beets. I'm so excited. So here's where I planted beets, some broccoli, and the broccoli's coming up. Just a few, not a ton. And more beets over there. So I'm seeing 1, 2 broccoli. I'm not quite sure what this is. I can't remember. Maybe spinach. But one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and I've never done it, is harvest and preserve nasturtium. So I have this great big huge nasturtium here, and my plan is we use a ton of pepper. And if you've ever tasted nasturtium, maybe it's just me, I think it tastes exactly like pepper. So I'm going to dehydrate a ton of the leaves this year and crumble it up, you know, like pulse it in a food processor and hopefully have a really great pepper substitute. I mean, we go through a ton of pepper. So that is the plan for the nasturtium. So far, it's done wonders keeping the pests out of the garden. So I'm super happy. This is my best nasturtium year so far. Oops. Okay, I know that this is so super bright and you guys might not be able to see, but things are looking really, really good in this bed. Lots and lots of spinach coming up. More, the broccoli in this bed is doing much better than the broccoli in the front bed. Now, whether or not I'm going to have enough time in my fall growing season to have a good harvest is yet to be seen. So probably ideally I would have started these inside, but they're all coming up really good. I have this crazy wild volunteer tomato at the end of the bed. I'm going to let it do its thing. I think it's black cherry tomatoes, which I love. And my sugar snap peas are all, no, not sugar snap peas, just a snow pea. They are coming up really good. So another trellis project. I've got to get those peas trellised, and then I'll show you the bed behind me where more peas are planted. If you guys remember, in the fall I had a terrible, terrible pea harvest. I think I put up maybe 4 quarts of peas, that's all. And we eat a lot of peas. So I want to get more peas harvested. I have this perennial sorrel plant growing in here. Makes some wonderful salad lettuce that I cut back when I planted the fall crop, and it's came back really, really nice. Okay, I think you guys can see. Again, I'm sorry it's really bright. There's not a cloud in the sky today, and I've lost my morning window hour out here. Another great big huge nasturtium that I'm going to get to harvest from. Here's my peas that really need to get trellised up. I have 3 rows of beets that look to be coming up pretty great. So I'm super excited about that. And then 3 rows of spinach. So, and the spinach for the most part is coming up good. There's a couple spotty areas that I could probably go back and sow again, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, the last true fall planting I did was where my peppers were and my peas were planted earlier this year. I came back and instead of using the seed tape, I sowed beets by hand, which is the way I've always done it. And I'm going to tell you guys, these beets don't look near as good as the beets that I planted with that seed tape. Now they are coming up, so I'm just going to watch them. And at the end of this bed, I planted cilantro from seed. Because the thing is I never have cilantro ready when I'm ready to make salsa. So I was hoping it would work. There's a bunch of little green things coming up down there. And I'm not sure if that's the cilantro or if it's a weed, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. And hopefully we will have homegrown cilantro for the year. Again, 2 more beautiful nasturtiums in this bed along with the jalapeno and oddly purple bell peppers that I did not plant, but that's what I've got. So thanks guys for joining me in the garden today. If you like what you see, leave some comments below. I love to hear your encouragement and tell me what you're planning for the fall. Talk to you guys later.